Hello, everyone. Welcome to another one of these form sort of live doings. And tomorrow, racing heads to Caulfield. So I thought we'd start by looking back at the results from Sandown, which I was quite pleased with that my sort of methods were working here. The first race, Ocean Sprint, that didn't pan out too well, did it? Terry Lee won. That was good. Just for Show ran third. Actually looked like it was going to win at one stage, I thought. And also Stylish in race 4, it managed to get the win. And then in race 5, I think Indian Jewel was the only horse that sort of ran in that race, or at least the one that I lent to on top. It ran, sixth or something. Road Cone was disappointing. I had Sabin ahead of Dublin Journal and Pudding in race 7. Sabin got the job done. I had Chinqui in race 8. It managed to get the job done as well. And then Step Aside didn't run in the last race. So overall, I was very happy with the successes of last time we did one of these live form sort of live streams. And last week, obviously, had a week break. I wasn't here, so I couldn't do the live stream. But we're going to find some winners tomorrow at Caulfield. Now, for all those that have seen my preview, you would know that I've got one selection at Caulfield. But if I go onto the Google spreadsheets I've got here, you'll see only 5 races down here. You come on a very interesting night because I'm adding 3 selections to my preview. I don't normally have that many selections added anywhere in Australia, but I'm adding 3 from Caulfield. Vinny says, yo, Vinny. Champman195 says, have you got a leg for tonight's game? There is a special on bonus bet back if it fails. Tom Papley, something with Tom Papley because he loves racing and I'm doing a racing live stream, meaning the stars are aligning, so he's going to, I don't know, 1 or 2. I'll let you make that call, Champman195. And anyway, let's move back on to what I'm actually supposed to be talking about, which is the racing. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Adding 3 selections, and that's in race 5, 6, and 9. So if you want to put your predictions in the chat, feel free to do so. Actually, I've just figured out how to do this. I'm going to do some polls tonight and get you guys input a little bit more. So make sure to vote on the polls whenever I post them. I might post one now, actually. I've got a different device over here, as you can probably tell. I'm just writing a question now. There we go. Hopefully that's come through okay. Sort of lets me know what I'm going to do tomorrow, to be honest. Anyway, race 1. So, as you can see, we've got the thing here. The 5 things I'm going to look for in this. Sorry, no, that's not how we start. We start with outlining the track. So, the rail is out 12 meters, which makes it awesome for form doing. That was a joke. It's completely I just don't like this rail position at all. Condition, it's a soft 6 this morning. Soft 5, I expect it to be tomorrow. The wind, I put nil. There's only supposed to be between 2 and 5k an hour winds, so don't expect that to have too much of an effect. I've lost my poll. I can't actually see the poll. Anyway, hopefully someone lets me know what's going on with that. So yeah, that's the track outline, and now we'll go to race 1. So these are the things I'm looking for. For those that weren't here 2 weeks ago, NWTM means no worse than midfield. So we want a horse that is settling sort of forward of midfield in this first race, first use of the track. I like horses to have cover when the rail's out this far, and that's sort of, I won't try and make my on-top selection horses that settle in the lead, outside lead, or 3 wide no cover. I just don't like those spots with this rail position. Fresh, so what I mean by fresh is in its preparation, first to second up, I'm lost for words tonight, I'm not sure what's wrong. First or second up, I will give a point. So point system for those that weren't here 2 weeks ago. In the straight, lanes 2 to 3, don't necessarily want the inside with these 2-year-olds. I sort of like them to be, and not too far out either. You sort of see where I'm getting at here with no western midfield cover, lanes 2 to 3 in the straight. It's just going to be in that sweet spot, maybe 5th or 6th, trailing the outside the leader, or one out, one back, or something like that, and then just peel out into lane 3 or lane 4 in the straight and go on and win. And then, this is my special, what sets me apart from the rest with these 2-year-old races, reverse psychology. So, drifter last start means that obviously people look for maybe of a last start performance, a horse that gets well backed, because I can be on this horse next start. The market seems to really gravitate towards this horse. But why I've put reverse psychology here, drifter last start, is if typically when 2-year-olds drift, such as Ocean Sprint 2 weeks ago, it underperformed. So usually when that happens, trainers will often put that horse away in the paddock for a spell and give it more time, or drop it back to an easier race that's not a Saturday grade race. But my reverse psychology here is that we can get a good price about a horse that has drifted last start, and we can confidently assume that this horse is right for the race it's running in tomorrow. And it's just a simple case of getting more value because the market didn't like it last start, but the trainer wants to keep it going in this level of 2-year-old race at this time of year. So he must think it's got, I don't know, something good about it. So that's my reverse psychology. Let me just look at the chat. Race 1, Vinny likes Hello Romeo, Oyster Lane. Let's see how I view it. Paul Mills, race 5, Captain Electric. Race 6, cheers to that. Race 9, Yellow Sam. I'm not going to comment because I don't want to spoil it. Stewie Peck, race 5, number 3. Stewie, I'll have a look for you. And well done today for all of you that watched the races today. Spirited Defence, the winner of race 6 today at Pakenham, was part owned by Stewie Peck. Our horse Patriot Star ran 5th, and we got a email follow-up from Matt Laurie pretty much saying that it's going to be on English Digital in 2 weeks' time. So if anyone wants to get involved with a cheap share in a 3-year-old filly by Deepfield, who's going to peak as a 4-year-old, and once it gets headgear and up in distance, it'll actually perform, but Matt Laurie won't ever have it again, buy a share, or it could go as a mum. Whatever. Anyway, let's get on with this race. Does this work, or is this one of the crazy theories you think of? All the crazy theories that I've let you know of, Champman195, have worked with everything to do with life. And as I said at the start of the video, I think at Sandown we got about 4 winners. I'm taking too long here. I need to hurry up. So let's do the point system for this race. As I mark down on my paper all the numbers, this is the process I got to remember to do every race. Otherwise, I'm going to lose track of the point system in my head and keep flipping the pages too fast. So I said 2 weeks ago that if you don't know which speed map to use and you don't have time to do it yourself, the TAB is the best option. However, I believe that if racing.com, as I'm about to go into now, if they have a speed map open, I would trust that more than the TAB. And the reason because that is because racing.com speed maps are 90% of the time done by a human. So the human takes into account, most recent runs, what that horse speed level out of the gates it's shown and where it settles, and sort of matches that up with the gate that they're in, like a human doing a speed map. So whereas TAB and RaceNet and Sportsbet and all that, they just have models that assess where the horses run. It's past 5 or 6 starts, and that's where the horse is on their speed map. But I believe racing.com, because it's done by a human, is more accurate. So if we go on the speed map here, Ballarat, sorry, did I say Pakenham, Vinny? Ballarat, sorry. 67% yes, so it looks like I'm going to Caulfield tomorrow. Thanks everyone for voting. Alright, so what did I say? No western midfield. So we slashed the field in half. There's 14 horses in the field. We're going to go the top 7. So all horses in this race that are in the top 7 in terms of to closest to the running direction is going to get a point. So 7, 5, 1, 9 are going to get a point. And then we're going to look at back here, and it looks like it's going to be 2 and 14 that get points. And then we've got pretty much a 4-way tie. I'd say number 4, because it's drawn sort of close to the inside, might be in a more forward position. So I'll input those results now. For some reason, I feel a bit off tonight. This might take a while. But if we're finding winners, it won't matter at the end of it. And 14. So next we want to look for cover. So like I said before, I'm just going to wipe horses that I think are going to settle lead, outside lead, or 3 wide no cover. And I think when I was looking before, I think it's going to be pretty easy. This horse will lead, this horse will come across and settle on its outside, and this horse will settle 3 wide no cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to -1 off those horses, because I want to look for horses with cover in these 2-year-old races with the rail out. Fresh. So first to second up is going to get a point, and third up is going to get half a point. So let's go through that now. Hello Romeo, yes. Demarcate, half a point. YOLO, half a point. Son of Kirk, yes. Frostnip, half a point. Oyster Lane, point. Yeah, right, half a point. Night Flower, point. Shahar, point. She's Loaded, point. Telingus, Immortal, point. Wicked Storm, point. Belle Azul, point. And then Life After Love, half a point. So no horse gets 0 points. Let's input those results now. 0.5, 0.5, 1, 0.5, 1, 0.5, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0.5. Next, this one's going to be a bit tough. So this is going to be very subjective, but I'm looking for horses that are going to be, as I said before, just in that sweet spot. I'm going to go through lanes 2 or 3 in the straight. I'm going to go to the wrong page. Racing.com speed map to figure that out. So I have a feeling, Son of Kirk, I'm going to give Son of Kirk a half a point, because it could either be in lane 1 on the inside and need luck, or it could be on the outside of this horse, Wicked Storm, and that'll suit the what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to give Son of Kirk a half a point here. I'm going to say 6, 2, and 10 are all going to get points. And then I might give... No, it's 150 to 1. 6, 2, and 10, I think are going to be in those sweet spots. And then anything outside of that, I think is going to have to come lane 4, lane 5, or even further out. Actually, number 1's going to get and 1 and 9 are going to get points as well, because this doesn't take into account the cover. All right, let's do that then. Lanes 2 to 3 in the straight. 1, 1, half a point, and then 1 point, and then 1 again, and 1 again. Now, time for the reverse psychology. This is what I've been looking forward to. I'm going to reverse psychologicalize this race. And yes, that is a word. So, I want a horse that has blown like a gale last start. Hello, Romeo. $6.50 into $5. Nah, can't win. Demarcate, $7.50 into $6.50. Nah, can't win. YOLO, $3.80 out to $4.40. I like that. I like how the market doesn't like it. 1 point. Son of Kirk. Oh, it drifted as well. Perfect. That's a point. Frostnip. It started $5 and then it went out to $9. It's going to get a point. Oyster Lane is pretty much an asterisk because it hasn't had a start. Yeah, right. No, it got backed in. Night Flower. No, it got backed in. Shahar hasn't had a start, so that's a bit of a asterisk. She's Loaded. It's first up, so maybe it'll get a half a point. Yeah, I'm going to give it a half a point. Talingus Immortal, no, it got backed in. Wicked Storm, it drifted. That's going to get a point. I love my reverse psychology. Asterix for horse 14, 15 got backed in. I'm going to put an asterisk down here next to the debutantes, 14, 9, and what did we say, 6? Okay, let's put in those results and see who's going to win race 1. Who comes out on top on the Seminator logic table? 111. 10 is going to get a half a point. 13 is going to get a point. And an asterisk next to 6, 9, and 14, who are all on 2 points. So we've got a clear horse here on 3.5. And it is Son of Kirk. Let's green that horse up. So it fits the bill in pretty much everything and might even fit the bill on this. I'm just a bit worried where it might get to in the run. I was actually going to not have the odds up on one of my tabs tonight and just look at my phone for the odds. So actually, let's run another poll. Can I not? I have to close this poll. Okay, so I'm going to Caulfield. That's that poll done. Son of Kirk. So you guys I can see if you guys think it's a good chance or not. Son of Kirk, on top. Don't mind it. No chance. Alright, so let's see what you guys think of Son of Kirk. It is the $4.40 favourite. Okay. So, it is the favourite Son of Kirk. Is anyone going to be at Caulfield tomorrow? So I have any friends there? Hopefully I have a few mates. So that's going to be coloured red. Does that work? That works. That looks like the Freedman colours. So let's just have a look again on Son of Kirk, who was our pick for race 1. Run on debut down the Flemington Straight behind Miss Olay and Espana. Good run. Draws gate 3 now. Back around a bend where and you got to be good to win a jump out at Balnarring. That's a great track. Giga Kick couldn't even win at Balnarring in a jump out. Son of Kirk has won at Balnarring in a jump out. Vinny's going to be at Caulfield. Are you going to be race calling or just there for fun? I might see you there if I show up. But buses replace trains and I hate that. Anyway, Son of Kirk is going to be the on-top selection for race 1. If you're looking for other numbers, 2.5 points for both She's Loaded and Demarcate. However, 3 horses are on 2 points that are first starters. So either Son of Kirk or nothing, in my opinion. Let's move on to race 2 now. And I'll go through again, sort of, obviously, the form factors I'm looking at for race 2. My reverse psychology is going to work. Champman 195. Because Son of Kirk is going to win. So another 5 factors to look at here. The inside lanes. Now, I think I want to be with the inside lanes in this caliber of race because it's what's the word? The overarching sort of reason why I've got inside lanes here is because it's a smaller field than the 2-year-old race, and with bigger fields, obviously, if you're in the inside lanes, you're more likely to get stuck there and not have a way out, especially at Caulfield. But with a smaller field and the rail out 12 and early in the day, I think inside lanes are going to be beneficial. So any horse that's sort of 3 wide and well, not 3 wide, no cover, but in the straight lane 3 and wider, I'd want to be not giving that horse a point. And the second one is winning form. So I'm going to look at the horses, let's say, last 5 starts. And if they haven't won at least 2 of them, they're not going to get a point. 1 at 1,000 metres. So they've won 1,000 meters before, then they love the distance, and that's the typical case for most 1,000 meter races. Well backed in most recent win. This is another Saminator theory that's 100% going to work. So if this time we want a horse that the market gravitates to, whereas with the 2-year-olds, my thoughts about trainers keeping it going, even though it's a 2-year-old and the market might not like it, so they'll send it out for a spell because they're not up to this 2-year-old company at this time of year. But with 3-year-olds, they're well established. So if the market gravitates to them in their most recent win, I want to be with it, and I want a fit horse who's third up and beyond. Just for fun, I hang out at the 100-meter mark. I actually used to hang out at the 100-meter mark as well. I think back when I used to go all the time in grade 7. Yeah, that was good times. Anyway, let's move on to race 2. 12 people. How's this poll looking? So, only 2 votes on the poll. Make sure I'm doing polls tonight for everyone that's new. So, if you can look at the chat, please do, and contribute to the polls. Just getting everyone's opinion on Son of Kirk at the moment. What am I looking for? Speed maps. So I want a horse that's going to be in lanes 1 to 2 and okay. How am I going to do this? Okay, Manolo Bling's going to get a point. Run Like an Encryption's going to get a point, and so is Behaviour. Who do you reckon gets, from that speed map, everyone, who do you think gets outside leader? Always Enough, Foxenberg, or Trembles? You know what I think? I think it's going to be Trembles who will work forward, so I'm going to give it a point, which means I'm going to give half points to Always Enough and Foxenberg, and that'll do it for the first thing. Please let me know if you agree with me on Trembles getting outside the leader in this race. 1-1, half 1. Winning form. This is another one, a little Saminator theory. Thank you to everyone currently in the stream. I appreciate all your support as always. Manolo Bling's won 1 from its last 5, but they have been in good races. But then I'm factoring in things that I didn't want to factor in before I started this live stream. Manolo Bling's going to get a half a mark. Always Enough. It's got winning form. Going to give it a point. It's won 2 from its last 5. So as Just Remember It. Trembles. Yep. Run Like an Encryption, yes. Foxenberg. It's only had 2 starts though. Do I give it the point? I'm going to give it another half a point. It's only had 3 starts. Behaviour, half a point. And Legarkins, I hope I pronounced that right. Alright, that's going to be the second form factor for this race looked at. Vinny agrees, so that's good enough for me. 1 at 1,000 metres. This is vitally important. 1,000-metre horses for 1,000-metre races are usually good. Manolo Bling, yes. Always Enough, yes. Just Remember It, yes. Trembles, yes. Run Like an Encryption, yes. Foxenberg, yes. Behaviour, no. Legarkins, no. So they're going to get -1s. What's going on with this total here? Oh, I forgot to change it. All right. A little Google Sheets malfunction. Well backed in most recent win. This is the most Saminator psychological thing in this race. Let's see. Manolo Bling was 360 into 290. I remember that because I was on it. I had 150 on Manolo Bling that day. Unfortunately, it wasn't my money. Always Enough, it was for the Punters Club. $10 into 850. You know what? I'm going to give Always Enough a half a mark for that because it's not absolutely smashed in the betting, but it's backed in. Just remember it. Another sort of half a mark, I reckon. Trembles, it was a drifter, so no. Run Like an Encryption, yes. Foxenberg, yeah, maybe a half a mark. Behaviour, yes. And finally, Legarkins is going to get a half. I love doing the form, especially when you find winners. Who else loves doing the form? And then we just got to go third up or beyond as our final form factor. Manolo Bling is going to get a point. Always Enough is going to get a half a point. Just remember it's going to get a point. Trembles is going to get a point. Run Like an Encryption is going to get a point. So is Foxenberg, Behaviour, and Legarkins. All right, that didn't do much. That's just going to be a negative half a point to save my time. We've got a clear standout for this race. Legarkins is not pronounced like that. I thought you spoke French. I do speak French. I do speak French. But that's not the point. I reckon if Matt Hill was calling tomorrow, I'm sure he would say Legarkins. What is it, like Legarsons or something? Legarson? Is that... Yeah, the S is probably silent now that I look at it. Legarkin. It doesn't sound right. Anyway, we've got a standout. Run Like an Encryption. It's got the... What's it got? The grey and the black colours, I'm pretty sure, from memory. Let's have a look at this horse's form. I'm just looking off the race. Manolo Bling surely wins. Anyway, it's had 2 runs down the Flemington Straight behind Madame Maserati. That was a wet day at Flemington, and I know because I was at the football at the MCG watching Collingwood versus Adelaide with Champman 195, and it was cold and wet and miserable, and this horse didn't like it. Well, it sort of did. It ran third. Then behind Salsa Fellow, that Salsa Fellow should have bolted that race in. Now it's back around a bend where it's 1-2 from 2. I like that, even though I didn't factor that in. And it's going to be in the lane that I want. It has the winning form. It's 1 at 1,000 metres. It was well backed in its most recent win, and it was fit third up. Oh, Vinny's got Run Like an Encryption on top. We're absolutely clicking tonight. Okay, let's put that in the... it's $7.50 as well, Run Like an Encryption. So, Salmonator's Form Factors likes it. I've spelled that wrong, haven't I? Run Like an Encryption. Okay, 2 races down, 5 races to go. 4 people out of 5 have Son of Kirk on top. Well, I'll do that. Champman 195, the first race he's ever done form for. He's got Run Like an Encryption on top. I really hope it wins. Zeus H Goat C says 54 kilos, Fox. 54 and a half it has got. That also helps. Start a poll. Run like an Encryption on top. Don't mind it. No chance. Alright, vote on that poll so I have an idea of who you guys want to back in this race. 4 out of the 5 races that I'm previewing are all 2-year-old or 3-year-old races. Alright, let's get back on track. Race 3, 3-year-old fillies handicap 1,200 metres. This time only 3 form factors to look for. I struggle with these 3-year-old filly races. The first one is fit, so third up or beyond, just like the last 3-year-old race. The SP last start, so this is my sort of basic outline for knowing if a horse is good enough just purely based off starting prices. is that if they've started $5 or less in a Wednesday grade race, or $10 or less in a Saturday grade race at their most recent run, that does it. If they're anything bigger than that on either two of those Wednesday races or Saturday races, they're not going to get a point. And we've got 11 horses to do battle at least at the moment in this race. And this is another one of my what's it called? This is another one of my theories. This is another one of my psychological things. Precocious 2-year-old. Point of difference. So, even though 3-year-olds, they come into their prime maybe at this end of year, and it doesn't really matter if you've been a good 2-year-old because the 3-year-olds sort of kill you off. In my opinion, if there's a precocious 2-year-old in this race, they've always shown ability. And, for example, Melbourne Cup Day 2023, I think it was, I looked in a race, sorry, it was Derby Day. I looked in one of the straight races and I tipped Queen of the Ball because it was the only precocious 2-year-old in the race. And Queen of the Ball won that day because that's what I wanted to look for in a race of that calibre. And I'm happy to look for the same in a race of this calibre. This is my point of difference. This is what sets me apart from the rest. This is what's going to make me the best. That rhymes. Okay, let's do it. It ran today, actually. We back on? I just got a notification down there that OBS disconnected. So if someone's able to say something, that'll be good. I'm just going to keep going, assuming I am still on air. So 10, Mercurial Lady, half a point. Vein Champagne, going to get a point. So let's put that in. Pretty sure Dobkins ran today. So you're on. Thank you, Paul Mills. Thank you very much, mate. Okay, SP last start. So this is what I was saying before. They need to line up. So Miss Swift ran in a 50k race last start and started $12. No points. Stage and Screen was in I guess we can count that. Back here it was in a Saturday class race. And its SP was good. So Stage and Screen's going to get a point. Zappo is going to get a point, even though it's first up. Attachments, this was, no, it started $6.50, it's not going to get a point. Bet Witchery, Saturday race, it was $11, that's right on the edge. What mood am I in? Am I in a generous mood or not? I'm going to give it half a point. Flitgrove, it ran at 20, it's been running in 27k races. Back here it started $6.50, I'm bypassing Flitgrove. Illy Ivy, this was a Wednesday class race, $2.45. It's going to get a point. Long Brew, 27k race. I'm going to give a half a point because it was only a 27k race and it hasn't been proven at Metro level yet. Same with Dobkins because it started $4, but again, it wasn't. Same with Mercurial Lady. It probably should be getting a point, but I can't give it to it. And Vein Champagne is also going to get a half a point. That form factor is a bit hard to sort of decipher. 1, 1, half, 1, then half, 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 half. And I looked at my point of difference, and Vinny said it's on as well. Thank you, Vinny. My point of difference, I've already looked at this. To avoid wasting time, I've already looked at this, and the only precocious 2-year-old race in the race was Miss Swift, who got to a Thoroughbred Breeders' Stakes in its first preparation behind To Be or Not To Be. Okay, this is what I was looking forward to. Run Like an Encryption, 4 votes, 2 of them on top. I assume that's Vinny and Champman195, and 2 people don't like it. Anyway, this is what I've been looking forward to with these polls. Now that we've got a tie, you guys decide. Miss Swift, Stage and Screen, or Illy Ivy? Who's going to be my on-top selection? Alright, first one. Miss Swift. then Stage and Screen, and finally Illy Ivy. All right, so just looking at the market, Stage and Screen's $4, Illy Ivy is $10, and Miss Swift is $31. So looking at that, I've probably got to lean to Stage and Screen, but then again, you could say the other two are providing more value. I'm just putting in the thing into the little Google Docs. How good's the Tiakau colours gonna look on the Google Docs? Wow, that looks good. And what was the other one? Illy Ivy, who's got the yellow and sort of purple, hasn't it? Still think Mercurial Lady will win. I mean, probably will. I'm not a genius, and these form factors don't 100% work all the time. And if Mercurial Lady wins, I will be thinking of you. 2 votes and 2 Stage and Screens. Looks like I'm going to be leaning to this horse as my on-top selection for race 3. 2 more races to look at, and then the stream will end. And for all those that missed my announcement at the start of the video, I'm adding 3 selections to this week's preview, and they're at Caulfield. I might be adding more from the other states. I don't know yet, but I might be adding more. So, and those horses are in races 5, 6, and 9. So, anyway, race 4, 3-year-old handicap, 1440 metres. The only reason that the extra 40 metres is in play is due to the rail position. Pretty sure this race is going to be really tough. So, within 2 lengths, last start in a Saturday race or similar SP to a 2-length margin. Pretty much letting us know if this horse is good enough to win a race of this calibre, as I'll just write down all the numbers to make it a bit more time efficient. Down in weight, this is another one of my point differences for a 1400 metre race at 3-year-old level with the rail out this far. If a horse has dropped in weight from their last start, I like it in a race of this calibre, and we've had this for all 3-year-old races, 3rd up and beyond, fit. Surely tip Floozy, we'll see. I'm not going to spoil anything from the other states, but we'll see. I do love Floozy though. I think I had back-to-back wins on it earlier in its prep. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this race then. 14 horses. Remembering Robbie Lang, 3-year-old handicap, brilliantly named. May he rest in peace. So Just for Show is going to get a point. It finished 0.35 lengths off him. Yoldi didn't, and it had a poor SP. It's not going to get a point. Harry's Yacht, it finished 0.65 off him, so that's going to get a point. Zoo Rain, 5 lengths off him, $12, no. Brand Jam, didn't run in the Saturday race, no. It's a Yes, didn't run in the Saturday race, but back here it did, so I'm going to give it a half a point. I'm a Man Zor. Try guess what I'm a Man Zor's sire is. I bet you couldn't get it. It's not going to get any points. Neither is Chamateur. Neither will Amber Star. Actanon Verba. No. Butternut Princess. No. Launceston. No. Forest Gym. No. And 2 Sigma. No. I was on 2 Sigma on this day at Ballarat, and I said to myself, never again. Okay, so that's sort of separated horses a little bit. 1 for Just for Show, 1 for Harry's Yacht, and a half for It's a Yes. Down in weight, this is my point of difference. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do 3rd up and beyond for a start. So, Is there any horse that's not going to get any points here? Acta Non Verba is the only one that's going to get -1/2. So that doesn't tell us much. Down in weight. Let's go through this. 59 kilos. It now carries 57 just for show. That's a point. I'm not going to flip like that. I remember saying that to myself. Yaldi's got the exact same weight, so it's going to get 1/2 point. Harry's Yacht is up 1 kilo. No, thank you. Zoo Rain down. Yes, that's a point. Brand Jam. Yep, it's a point. It's a yes. Yes. I think I've discovered a flaw in doing this though. Because for horses that come out of 27k races, they're just going to get 3 points. Because It's a Yes back here, 54 kilos, now carries 55.5. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop it right there and just say that even though I can go through all these horses and give them a point, this horse is still going to be on top just for show. I was with it at Sandown, last start at $15. It almost won. We're with it again, just for show, in the 4th race at Caulfield. Let me know who you're with. Vinny's with just for show as well. And yes, Vinny, it was Al Manzoor. Good get. I'm a Manzoor is indeed by Al Manzoor. Just for show. So this horse, obviously, as I said before, it's got all the form factors I like. It was only finished 0.35 lengths off Santa Ana Moon last start. Drops in weight with the Luke Cartwright claim. And it's 4th up fit. So let's end that poll. Stage on the screen was my on top, or is now my on top selection in race 3. Thanks to you guys. So make sure to vote on these polls. It doesn't really mean anything, but it's just to, try and engage with my viewers a bit more. The poll started on just for show. Already know what Vinny thinks. He's got it on top. So we've got Son of Kirk on top. We've got, what's his name? Run Like an Encryption on top. And we've got Just for Show on top. Did you have Stage on the screen? I can't remember. You might have to let me know. All right, so we get to that point in the live stream where these are some of the horses I'm adding into my video, into my preview, in terms of I'm going to have units on them on the YouTube community tomorrow morning. And it starts in race 5. It's a 2,000 metre race, benchmark 78 level. And I'm with the favourite. Its name's Captain Electric. The unit, in terms of how many units I'm going to have on it, that'll be available in the YouTube community tomorrow morning, just to make sure that Captain Electric is still in the field. But why I like this horse, for its racing pattern of back here 11th, 12th, 8th in run, it's drawn gate 11. So the fact that it's drawn out means it's away from that inside part of the track. And even though on the inside part of the track it could sneak a couple of pairs closer, the way it races, it's going to be hopefully tracking the right horse into the race and building its momentum around the outside. It resumed with an absolute dominant win, put this field, good fit field, over 2,000 metres to the sword. And even though that was on a heavy track and its first up record is better than its second up record and it could be a bit flat for its second up run, I just think it's a 4-year-old. It's only had 10 starts. This horse may have just found another gear, this preparation. Savabeel out of a Central Park mare, this horse may have just found another gear. Because it's so progressive, it's only young, it's only had 10 starts, it's very progressive. Daniel Stackhouse is on, who is, in my opinion, a trustworthy jockey. Maybe other people's opinions differ. So, Captain Electric. Does anyone like Captain Electric? Vinny also likes Captain Electric. Zach likes Amber Star each way. Was that in race 4? It was. How did that rate? See how it rated. Oh. Well, it's going to have to go against the awesomeness of the Salmonator form factors to win, Zach. But at if you say it's each way, it must be good odds. So I wouldn't talk you out of that. And I don't think I can because I've only really focused on just for show. Captain Electric. How am I going to highlight this? It's going to be in pink, green, and white. When there's... I'll just go this light pink and I'm just going to colour it green. That'll do. So Captain Electric, I'm going to have units on if it's running in the race tomorrow morning on the YouTube community tab. Then we go to, what's it called? Race 6. It's right in front of me. Another horse I've got units on now, and it is, again, the favourite, the Black Cloud. So just like Captain Electric, the Black Cloud is a progressive 4-year-old who's only had the 12 starts. I like it drawn gate 10 with a bit of juice in the ground come this stage of the day. I think it can settle outside the leader, and it's 3 from 4 on soft ground. It brings the SF Sydney form. I like the Black Cloud. Vinny likes Earlswood, which is in race 8. Does anyone agree? Black Cloud. Does anyone agree? So I will have units on the Black Cloud tomorrow morning on the YouTube community tab. It's got the black with the bright green. We'll do race 7. Obviously, Sadati's already there from my preview yesterday, and then race 9 I'll mention who I've got. Shame on top from Cheers to That. So not on the Black Cloud is Vinny. So we're going to agree in the first half of the card, not the second half of the card. Shame third up, and Cliff Brown. Cliff Brown's an awesome trainer. All right, last race. We're going to do some Salmonator form factors for tonight. All right, let's do it. I'll get the odds up for race 7 and talk you through these form factors. Have I got like a down in weight Salmonator difference form factor for this race? Down in weights, so I'm going to chop the field in half again. The bottom saddle cloths are going to get a point. I like horses when they get to benchmark 84s and beyond. Down in weights, I find to be a really positive play, especially in the winter months. Back and wide. Now, some people may scoff at this and think, oh, why are you looking for horses that are going to get back? Why are you looking for horses that are going to come wide when the rail's out? By this stage of the day, with a bit of juice in the ground, I reckon this is where you're going to need to be. I reckon there's going to be a blistering pace set up front, or at least good enough. And I think that's just the spot you need to be in this race. Early in prep. How early? I'm talking no more than 5th up, I'd say. That's how early I'm going to go. And Saturday race qualities. So needs to have, just like race 4 started, or was it race 3? I think it was race 3. Started within $10 SP, or got really close, like top 3 finishing position. And looking at that screen, it's $6 the field. Let's have some fun. Last race. Oh, I forgot to write down all the horses. And then we can talk about a bit more about CD Sadati, the horse I'm going to have units on in race 9, and then we can all sit back and watch the Swans and the Dogs. All right. So, how many horses are in this race? 16. So the bottom 8 are all going to get points. And I'm going to give half a point to those with a claimer on in that top half of the field, because they're also sort of in the minimum weights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So I'm just going to give every horse down here a point. And then also 4, 5, and 8 are going to get half points because they've got light jockeys that take the weight off. So let's put that in first. Home Rule, Chinqui, Moby Dick, Big Me, and then 1. Carbonados, Keep It Cool, High Stranger, Baroque Road, Zethus, Along the River, Moonhaven, Lafraca. Okay. Now we've got to get racing.com back up. Go to race number 7. Vinny likes Shame in race number 6. What was that poll for? Just for show. Don't mind it. All right. I think that's going to be it for polls for tonight. Maybe I'll do one right at the end, but all right. Speed map time. Okay. How generous am I going to be with some of these horses? Look, I'm just trying to figure out in my head how I'm going to award points here. By back, I mean back. All right. 14, 2, and 18. 8. I think Raikoki's going to roll forward. 15, 9, and 16. I'm not doing Carbonados because it's drawn gate 3. Actually, no, there's 2 separate categories, isn't there? No, you know what? I'm just gonna do what I want. I'm just gonna do what I want. 8's gonna get a point. 9's gonna get a point. And so is 2. 14, 15, 16, and 18. So this is no longer a category because back and wide are now in one category of their own. Early in prep, so I'm going to look for no more than 5th up. Karakazoo is 6th up, so no. Zoo Sensation's going to get a point. Home Rule, I'm going to give half a point. Chinqui, nothing this week. Nothing this week for Chinqui. Raikoki going to get a point. So is Talbragar. Moby Dick's going to get a point. Big Me gets nothing, neither does Carbonados. Keep It Cool gets a point. High Stranger gets a point. Baroque Road does, so does Zethus, Along the River, Moonhaven, and Lafraca. Alright, 1 half. 1, 1 half. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I'm always interested to see how my viewers like this sort of concept of doing the form, and considering there's 17 people in the stream, I think I'm doing something right. Talbragar depends what Froggy does, soft ground, further tick. What did the speed map say it was going to do? Sort of around that midfield area. Froggy's usually a front running rider, so maybe something there, but it's done by a human, so I'll trust the human. At least I think it's done by a human. And Saturday race qualities. So this was finishing close up last start in a Saturday race, or starting within $10 or less as a starting price. And they have to have raced it on it in a Saturday race last start. Karakazoo, no. Zoo Sensation, it finished sort of close up. You know, I'm going to give that Zoo Sensation a half a point. Home Rule, no, nothing. Chinqui wins, so it's going to get a point. Raikoki, it was within a length, so I'm going to give it the point. Talbragar, no. Zeus H Goat C, do you like Talbragar, or are you just commenting on that because of your assessment of Froggy knew it? Let me know. Moby Dick, it started $10. It's I'm feeling generous. I'm going to give it a point. Big Me, Started 13s. I'm going to give it a half a point. Carbonados. It didn't race in a Saturday race last start. No points for Carbonados. Neither did Keep Your Cool. Nothing. Oh, but up here it ran the Saturday race and it started favourite. What do I do? I'm going to keep my cool. High Stranger, nothing. Broke Road. No. Zathus, nothing. Along the River, $10. Am I feeling generous enough? I might give it a point. Moonhaven. What does everyone think? Do I give Keep Your Cool a point? We're looking at Saturday race qualities, meaning within $10 starting price of a Saturday race at its last start, but last start it ran at Mornington, but back here it ran a Saturday race and it started $3.50. Do I give Keep Your Cool a point? Yes or no? Or do I give it a half a point? Whatever the consensus is in the chat log, I will do. Moonhaven's not going to get a point, and Lafraca, again, Mornington last start, but back here it was a Saturday race and it started $5. Yes. Yes to a point, yes to half a point, or yes to not giving it a point, Vinny. I'll just put in these results while I'm at it. 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 16. Maybe, even if Keep Your Cool gets a point, it's not going to matter. It'll be Lafraca. I can't believe Along the River's come out on top on this thing. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm feeling generous. Lafraca's going to get a point, and so is Keep Your Cool. Oh my goodness, Along the River. Along the River. Along the River's... Okay. It's white with blue along the river. Does anyone think Along the River is any chance? Be honest. Dark blue and then... half a point. If that happens though, Along the River is going to be a standout pick. What's the market say? Lafraca's $6.50. Along the River's $19. Along the River also gets in below the minimum weight with 53.5 kilos for Ryan Houston. You know what? I'm just going to leave it there. Those two. It'll be Lafraca and Along the River. Maybe one of them will get scratched and the other one will be my on top selection. Actually, is there emergencies in the race? There is. Along the River's got a start. Lafraca doesn't have a start. Does anyone know if Lafraca's accepted somewhere else? Because I vividly remember seeing its name in a different race. This is the time where you disagree with your system. I know, but Vinny, it's Along the River. It's Along the River. Let's look at this horse, right? Like it's had 44 starts. Okay. Along the River. We're going with it. Along the River. And Lafraca. But actually, I might look it up now because no one seems to be typing in the chat where Lafraca is running, if it's running elsewhere or not. Oh, I got scratched from Sydney. That's where I saw it. Either in hope that it runs here, and if it doesn't get a run here, it's going to run here. Okay. I half expected to get a run. 23 watching now. Jeepers, someone must like me. Alright, as I said in my preview, a lot of people are going to be on the Earlswood train in race number 8, but I like Sayedi Sadati, number 10. This is a horse that, look, like, do I have to say anything else? That's the Caulfield Cup, and it's a great race, $5 million race, and it started $14. Came back here, had the 61 kilos against some race fit horses. I can't exactly remember what happened that day, but something must have been wrong. And then it's come back and ran a good race behind Saban first up, concerning race fitness. Also got beaten again by Saban last start. However, the SP was good. I like it now third up. I think as a 4-year-old and with only 13 starts, it can take more progression than a horse like an older horse, a 7-year-old like Earlswood. And look, no query about it at the 2,000 metres. It got over 2,400, only finished 4 lengths behind Jan Bruegel. I don't think it'll get a run. Well, I hope you're kind of... Actually, no, I hope you're wrong, because I don't want to be with Along the River, Vinny. Alright, so that's all the... So the races that we've looked at doing the Saturdays form factors, they're done. We only did 5 of them tonight. They're done. Because I am adding in a selection to my preview in this race, having units on it. The Black Cloud was a favourite. Captain Electric was a favourite. I'm not with the favourite here. I think it's the Open. With a horse called Run, Harry Run. So, last preparation, Run, Harry Run had the Another Will form. This preparation, it's come back first up, just a run. And then second up, I thought it would actually run all right in that Hughes race, and it did. It looked the winner for most of the straight, but Hughes just darted back to the inside and got the better of it. Now I think third up, it's ready to strike. I love 2 weeks in between runs. It means the horse has kept ticking over very nicely. Drawn out in gate 16 late in the day, I also like. I'm hoping the roughie Edison flies across and leads, and Run Harry Run also flies across to settle on its outside. If that happens, Run Harry Run's going to have every chance, and I think if it has every chance, especially at the $7 mark, it's a good tip. Are you getting on Sadati for us? You mean my best bet at Caulfield, Sadati Sadati? Am I getting on it? Of course not. Run Harry Run is going to be in the YouTube community tomorrow morning. Look at Eagle Farm. I can't see the track from my house at the moment, but I'm sure it looks fabulous. Surely tip Along the River with units. No. Never going to happen. Not even if I actually think it's a good chance in a race. I just can't trust the horse. If you want to back Along the River each way, please feel free to do so. That's to everyone out there. Actually, I should add Run Harry Run in. And then we'll recap everything. Oh, I don't want it to be down there. Hold on. Let me make this smaller. This is gonna mess up the... Oh. There we go, that fits. It's got the dark blue and the red. Alright. That's the look at Caulfield. I've got Lim Saltoro. That's the horse I've jumped off. I was with its first 2 starts of the prep, and now I'm off Lim Saltoro. And Regal Vow. Regal Vow's a good horse. So we're kicking off the day with Son of Kirk in the 1,000-metre race for 2-year-olds. Then we're going for, at $7.50, Run Like an Encryption. Looks to just get the perfect map, I think, and its form is all right. Back around a bend helps that horse as well. It was a 3-way tie in race number 3, but the general consensus in the chat was Stage and Screen. Then race 4, Just for Show. I'm pretty sure it's around the $5 mark, and I'm pretty sure it's mapped to get right back to last, but that's not what the form factored in. We didn't do the form factors for races 5 and 6. Captain Electric and the Black Cloud are going to be unit plays tomorrow on the YouTube community tab, hopefully amongst others from the Other states. Race 8, Cedity Sadati is my on-top selection in that race, and it was in my preview. Race 7, La Fracas. Race 9, Run Harry Run. And Along the River. But I'm not too keen, as you can see, on Along the River's chances. Limmy let me down recently, said Chairman 195. Let me down too. So we're both in the same boat there. So those are all the selections for Caulfield tomorrow. Hopefully we have a similar day to what we did at Sandown when we had Saban, Chinqui. Let me just go back and see all the winners we had. Chinqui, Saban, Stylish, Tara Lee. That's what we got from last time when looking at the Salmonators form factors. And tomorrow, these are the selections that we've got. Anyway, guys, thank you everyone for watching the preview. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys back a winner tomorrow. And until next week's preview, bye for now.